Here we go again, all the news that fit into a week or two right here, right now. This video is dedicated to the memory of Quincy Jones, one of the greatest musicians of modern times, who worked with such greats as Count Basie, Frank Sinatra, Dinah Washington or Aretha Franklin, and of course Michael Jackson, but also newer talents like Jacob Collier. A full life dedicated to music. Thanks for oh so many hours of delight. Rest in power. Hey, the news are back. Not that we have any big things, but an assorted collection of small-ish news that we don't want to go unnoticed, because they are all interesting. And the usage numbers, of course, and let's not forget, tonight we have the first race of the ASRC T5 Series Championship. You've seen other ASRC races already, most prominently the IndyCar seasons we've been showing. This time it'll be something different, as the ASRC are using a mod for Class 1 DTM cars, which will see them racing in tracks DTM has at some point raced on, including Moscow for reasons that escape me. But of course, you'll also see them at the fantastic Norrisring, one of my favorites. Tonight though, they'll be at Lausitzring, which is sometimes used as a tri-oval, only not by DTM. We had no news last week because there was not enough to tell, and because, as you have seen, we had and still have tons of information coming from the Sim Racing Expo. But there's enough that has piled up this week, so this is when we are delivering the usage statistics for last month. As you can see, the overall numbers remain steady, with a little climb from last month and a big climb compared to last year. No big surprises on the sim by sim specific numbers, other than Beam.NG reaching once again an all-time high, and Dirt Rally 2 climbing up once again with almost double as many users as last month. As WRC and even WRC Generations also climbed up, though much more moderately, this may be something in the air. It will be interesting to see if Assetto Corsa Evo has any impact on Assetto Corsa's numbers. Assetto Corsa Competizione didn't, but that sim was in a complete different ballpark. But that's still some months away. Until then, we'll keep enjoying what we have, which is aplenty. We start with the announcement by Asetek that they have partnered with Xbox to offer new and some assorted already existing products, being Xbox Series XS and Xbox One compatible. While this was an expected step by Asetek, it very much means it'll start eating some of Fanatec's market share in the realm of consoles. With Assetto Corsa Evo and Project Motor Racing poised to appear on consoles when they come out, as well as NASCAR 25, it seems consoles are going to be the new frontier for sim racing. At least we know from Assetto Corsa Evo and NASCAR 25 for sure. With Project Motor Racing, it's just an educated guess. Raceroom had the tiniest of updates, fixing one very specific issue, but Le Mans Ultimate had a bigger update, now dropping you in the right car in co-op sessions, some assorted fixes having to do with race control, and save games not saving the right AI tires. They also advise Thrustmaster users who lose force feedback all of a sudden to drop into their Discord to try some experimental fixes to that issue. Also, if you are using an AMD GPU and Le Mans Ultimate crashes in the menus, note that they are still working on it and have a specific code branch for you to try. See the link in our description for the best way to download this version via Steam. Pista Motorsport also dropped an update with new content like the Collier F600 CBR, the Formula 2 Argentina, and a new track, the Autódromo de Rafaela, and a new 3D interior for the Fiat Uno TP Classe 1, as well as some other assorted improvements. I can't wait to go test all these updates once I've finished editing all the videos from the Sim Racing Expo. Speaking of which, ADAC, the German automobile club that had been their sponsor for the last 10 years, just split with them. We don't know what that means, but we don't expect the expo to stop, as this year's expo was for sure a resounding success. As Southwest Vision, the company behind the SRE, still talks about their expo in Austin, without giving any details, mind you, and yes, we've asked specifically for them, it seems that one's still on track. Another company with news about hardware and software, will come to that, is Wave Italy. Their pedal set has now been improved with a new set of electronics, which, paired with a new software called Wave Total Control, allows you to fine-tune the pedal mappings, which seemingly can also be changed in the middle of a race. You can also set up a group of profiles for specific races, tracks or whatever situation you encounter, and can then change between profiles via any kind of button you pre-select, either on the wheel or on a button box. Also, thanks to the new software, you can now also set up a launch control procedure to be able to fine-tune your starts using the clutch. Add to that a very nifty function called brake holding system, which keeps the brake active without you having to hold the brake pedal, as the brake will be pressed via software until you release the clutch pedal completely. Using the app, you will also be able to fine-tune details in the pedals during the race and will get information about pedal pressure and brake force settings. All for the price of €1,650 for the 2-pedal set, the Wave Force, or €1,905 for the 3-pedal set, the Wave Impetus. I guess sim racing can really be pay to win sometimes. And while Wave Italy say in their press release owners of their Wave pedals will be able to upgrade the electronics, we didn't find the option anywhere on their website. After some blathering and marketing BS, at last the executive producer from iRacing talks about what is coming to iRacing in 2025, especially in the Season 1 build, which will be released in December of this year. Yeah, well, that's marketing for you. The Chevrolet Camaro Gen 3 and Ford Mustang Gen 3 are coming to iRacing in the Supercar series, and if you paid for a Ford Mustang GT or Holden ZB Commodore in the last 365 days, you'll get some credits depending on when you paid for those. You're not getting money, you are getting in-game credits. These two last cars will be disappearing from iRacing anyway. The BMW M2 CSR will enter iRacing at the rookie level. Powerful enough to feel like racing, easy enough to handle to not lose your mind. This one will come for free to all iRacing subscribers and will even see itself set up as safety car, which leaves us wondering what kind of deal BMW has made with iRacing. And yet another car will enter iRacing probably in December, the Acura NSX GT3 Evo 22, in which the graphics have gone as far as painting the motor. You know, for when you crash it and all its parts spread out. The last car iRacing talks about is the Ferrari 499P, the Le Mans hypercar that ended up winning the 2023 Le Mans race. Of course, you'll find this car in the Endurance series in iRacing. Let's move to tracks. The British Thruxton comes to iRacing, including a fully drivable infield airstrip. Seems the team had some free time and decided to have some fun with it, and more power to them. Also, the South Dakotan dirt oval Hassett Speedway will come to iRacing, and sometime later even as DLC in the World of Outlaws game. Two tracks will be updated in this release, the New Hampshire Motor Speedway and the Las Vegas Motor Speedway, although the team is not so sure about the latter, as they are still ironing out the rough spots of it. Moving over to features, now the non-racing line will be accumulating debris as real tracks do, and while iRacing would have you thinking this is something only they have, we've seen that in R-Factor 2 and Automobilista 2 for a long while. Speaking about learning from Automobilista 2, the AI drivers will now start to have different characters and more lifelike behaviors. The newest tire model will be deployed in the GTP class as well as in the LMP2 class and will come later to NASCAR and other oval racing cars. A very interesting announcement is that work is underway to build a new graphics engine, which is about time as iRacing graphics look quite dated and even Raceroom got theirs updated before them. Of course, this will take some time as a complete new engine can't be built in a day, at least you would not want them to. Looking at the future beyond the next release, iRacing will have yet another UI. I kinda like the UI they came up with in their last release, which was an impressive improvement to what they had before. But I look forward to the new UI if the change is as positive as it was last time. Further work on the physics will result in a new tire model sometime in the future, which sounds like Reza always fiddling with the tires and the physics. But we think that physics are the most important part of sims and the main difference between a sim and a racing game. Any work on improving that is always welcome. Also, expect of course new cars as well as a new pass on the NASCAR and IndyCar physics, and the team tease their new tracks being Portland International Raceway and Miami International Autodrome, with Adelaide being laser scanned in the next weeks. One last thing, I would advise the iRacing team to tone down the marketing bullshit, not only because there's people like me who are allergic to it, but because it sounds more like you are trying to convince yourselves about what you're doing, as you don't really believe in it. And that is pathetic.